Hey friends, welcome back to OG Universe. Today we are taking a look at Mcfarlane Toys DC Multiverse Arsenal from the Titans wave of the Beast Boy Build-A-Figure. So if you saw my last video of Nightwing, we reviewed, got a mixed reception from that figure. He came bare bones, didn't come with anything except the Beast Boy torso. Now, Arsenal here is loaded. First off, he comes with two Build-A-Figure pieces to build Beast Boy. You got these massive legs. Now, look at the size of this. It is almost half the size of the figure. Beast Boy is going to be a big boy, and it's going to be cool. Can't wait to get that figure built and complete. Nice texturing throughout the entire costume. The fur, the toes, it looks just fantastic. And then, of course, we have his bow. Every archer needs a bow. It's not bad. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this. I remember the Green Arrow figure from Injustice came with a pretty crappy bow. We upgraded that. I think we're going to have to do the same for this guy. I do appreciate that you got this rubber string, but it's just plastic. The bow itself is pretty nicely sculpted. I just wish it was a little maybe painted a different color, some more detail on it paint-wise, but that's a simple fix if you want to do it yourself. And then we also have his quiver. And the quiver is really nicely done. It's a lot of great sculpted detail. It looks like leather. You can see almost stitching in there. You got some pouches on the side. Arrows going there. This attaches to the back with that plug-in. And then you have some arrows here. You don't have a single detached arrow to put in his hand, unfortunately. But you got some really nice texturing here on the feather arrowhead. I don't know, they're not arrowheads, the feathering on the arrows, I guess. That looks really good. And the figure himself, I think he looks quite well done. You know, there is a DC Collectibles version of this that came out years ago. Now, he had one of the coolest features I've ever seen in an action figure. His head had a baseball cap. You were able to twist the baseball cap and flip it around. That was awesome. I wish they would have done that with this figure. That would have been great to see that kind of homage to DC Collectibles, but unfortunately we didn't get that. But what we did get is one hell of a great sculpted figure. He does even have these lame kind of 90s tattoos here. Poison. I guess he wants to get some tattoo laser removal there going. But yeah, they look really well done. The sculpted details on the figure itself is great. Texturing throughout, the wrinkles in the fabric, the waving pattern, it's just awesome. I love the way they do that nowadays with figures, and especially Mcfarlane, he takes it up another degree, man. Just fantastic looking stuff. Even down to his boots, he's got some great looking boots, really well done. And overall, I do like the head sculpt. I don't know if I would like some clear lenses for the glasses, maybe just to throw in. I don't think he had that in the comics. I read the entire Titans wave from Rebirth, and that was freaking awesome. I absolutely loved it. It was so well done. And this figure, he just jumps right out of the pages, man. Just jumps out of the breath booth artwork. He looks fantastic. So let's do a quick rundown on some of the articulation. We'll load him up with some weapons, do some comparisons, and we'll go from there. So the head, it does have a super good range of motion. The side tilts, everything there that unfortunately Nightwing didn't have. Now here you got the ball jointed arms, and man, he is super stiff. I'm almost afraid to lift it up any further. I'm probably gonna have to heat it up. But what you do notice that he doesn't have, by the looks of things, that extra butterfly hinge. It's just a sculpted shoulder detail here that maybe prevents him from moving up and around too much. This one is a lot better than this one. This one is really stiff, so I'm definitely gonna have to warm it up. But it doesn't look like he has that extra butterfly hinge in there. Does have the ball joints. He's got the double jointed elbows, ball joints for the wrist. Now look at that. Pretty good articulation in the abs and the twist. Ball joints in the hips, double jointed ratcheted knees. He does have your standard ankle joint with toe articulation as well. Very nice. And while we're down there, let's take a look at the pattern there. That's a pretty cool pattern on the bottom of the boots. He does have the new socket joints, and he does, it's again really stiff for a swivel. And if I didn't mention, he does have the bicep movement up at the top here. Now with the bicep movements, as you see, you move that, the tattoo becomes deformed. So it doesn't line up perfectly. I don't think there's any way you can really line that up perfectly. Have movement in that bicep swivel without distorting the image. On this side here, you know, you got a scorpion, you got a skull. They break away because they're not segmented together, so that's fine. But yeah, the figure overall, I'm really impressed with it. It looks really great. Now let's load him up with some of his accessories. So on the back here, he does have the peg to put the quiver in, pop some arrows in there. And yeah, it's nice and snug, it's secure. Now, I don't know if I can really like this bow, excuse me. The bow just seems almost a little too big, I think. Just, I don't know, it's not doing it. I mean, you can get him in some really cool poses, which was fantastic because his articulation is quite well done. You can get him in some great looks, move him around all a bunch, but I think the bow, it just seems a little too big. Yeah, and that string as well. It's so garishly white, just stands out a little too much. I'm not too crazy about that, but a simple fix to that. I do have a beautiful bow. This guy right here, it's a nice metallic paint. It has extra texturing on the actual handle part, which is a different color, and it does actually have a string. So I like this a lot better, and my arsenal is not going to have this bow, unfortunately. We'll give this to some other character or somebody else down the road, but oh yeah, I'm liking this already. Let's get this right in there. All right, so let's see how this looks. Hopefully he holds it well. Oh yeah, I think that looks much better. It is a little smaller. Comparing the two, this is a freaking giant bow, as you can see. But I think this one just looks a little bit better. It suits him. I mean, you can still add this bow to the back of the quiver. You know, you could tuck that in, have an extra bow. You never know when he's gonna need it. But I did the same thing with my Green Arrow figure. So here we go. This is the Green Arrow from Injustice. I gave him a, I believe it was from DC Collectibles, the new 52 Green Arrow. I gave him that bow, and I think that bow looks so much better on this figure than the traditional one that he had, which was this tiny little thing. And it just, yikes, super small. It's kind of weird, right? Look at these two bows. This is gigantic. This is tiny. And it's like, wow. Upgrades. You need the upgrades on these figures sometimes, and that's okay. You know, luckily you have a stockpile of weapons and different collectibles from different series, and you can do stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. But I'm very happy to have this figure in my collection. I think he looks great. He pairs up well with Green Arrow. I always think, of course, Green Arrow is more of an adult. Roy Harper, I think, is you know, a guy is a younger guy, maybe very early 20s, late teens. Go that way if you want. That's how I like to project it into my collection. You know, teen Titans. Now they're Titans, but you know, they're early 20s kind of characters, and this body buck suits them well. Great articulation, sculpted detail. This is a great figure and an awesome addition to your Titans collection and your DC Multiverse collection. There you go, guys. Stay tuned. We're going to have the entire wave reviewed. We're going to have Beast Boy built up for you as well. Thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think about the Titans.